The world awoke each morning to a dawn of startling silence, though the sun breached the horizon with its usual dependable light, spilling gold across fields and forests. The vibrant symphony of color that should have danced within it was utterly absent. Reds didn't blaze, greens didn't shimmer with life, blues didn't deepen like the ocean's heart. Instead, everything was rendered in stark, luminous shades of silver, gold, and 1,000 variations of gray. People moved through their days under this strangely beautiful, yet deeply melancholic, monochrome sky. Children grew up never knowing the crimson blush of a rose or the electric blue of a kingfisher Euro's wing, accepting the muted dawn as simply the way things were. An unspoken sorrow hung in the air, a collective sigh for a beauty dimly remembered in the oldest stories whispered beside crackling hearths. In a small village nestled between ancient, whispering pines lived a young painter named Elias, while others saw only the pale elegance. Elias felt the absence like a physical ache deep within his bones. His canvases, filled with attempts to capture the remembered hues described in his grandmother's tales, seemed like cruel jokes, flat, lifeless smears against the white. He tried mixing pigments from rare earths, crushed petals, and deep seashells, but nothing yielded the true, singing vibrancy his soul craved. He spent long hours on a hilltop at dawn, watching the silver light wash over the land, tears tracing silent paths down his cheeks as he strained to imagine the warmth of a proper sunrise. The world felt incomplete, a magnificent tapestry robbed of its most vital threads, leaving Elias perpetually restless and yearning. One crisp, clear night, driven by a despair he could no longer bear alone, Elias climbed the highest peak overlooking the slumbering valley. He carried no paints, only a hollow heart. The moon, vast and impossibly bright in the black velvet sky, cast long, sharp shadows as Elias sat on the cold stone, pouring out his silent grief for the missing colors to the indifferent stars. The moonlight seemed to gather around him, becoming almost liquid, a voice, ancient and resonant like stones shifting deep within the earth, yet soft as a sigh, filled his mind. You mourn the stolen song of the dawn, child, the moon murmured long ago. Before memory, the first dawn's most precious color, a hue of purest, radiant joy, was lost. It fell into the well of shadows at the world's edge, guarded by fear itself. The voice held no comfort, only a terrible truth. The Euro's words ignited a desperate fire within Elias. The well of shadows lay beyond the whispering wastes, a journey fraught with perils whispered about in fearful tones. Yet the thought of restoring the color, of seeing a true sunrise paint the world, propelled him forward. He packed meager supplies, bread, cheese, a flask of water, and a single stub of candles said to repel clinging darkness. Leaving his village without a word, he walked into the vast, desolate expanse where the wind howled like lost spirits and the ground crunched with brittle, gray grass. Days blurred into nights under the moon's watchful gaze. Strange, shadowy shapes flitted at the edge of his vision, and chilling whispers tried to coil around his resolve. Speaking of futility and the comfort of surrender, he clutched his flickering candle, focusing only on the image of a sun bursting with impossible, life-giving color. After what felt like an eternity of weary travel, Elias stood at the precipice of the world. Before him yawned the well of shadows, not a hole of stone, but a swirling vortex of pure, liquid darkness that seemed to absorb the very light around it. Tendrils of cold fear, thick as smoke, writhed upwards, whispering chilling doubts directly into his mind. You are too small. The world has forgotten color. Why suffer for its sake? Go back to your gray peace. Elias trembled, the immensity of the darkness threatening to swallow him whole. He thought of the children who had never known green, the flowers that bloomed unseen in their true glory, the silent sorrow in every human heart. This profound love for the world's hidden beauty, not courage alone, anchored him. He closed his eyes, took a breath filled with starlight, and stepped into the swirling abyss. Inside the well was not emptiness, but a crushing pressure of pure negation. It sought to unravel him, to dissolve his memories of light and warmth. Elias felt his very essence fraying at the edges. Yet, deep within the churning blackness, he glimpsed it, a single, impossibly bright point, Pulsing like a captured star, it was the missing color, radiating pure, unadulterated joy and life. A beacon in the suffocating dark, reaching it meant pushing through the solidified fear. A wall that felt like ice and despair, the whispers screamed now, promising oblivion. Drawing on every memory of love, his grandmother's voice, the feel of sun-warmed stone, the hopeful eyes of his village. Elias stretched his hand towards the radiant point as his fingers brushed its searing, joyful light. He knew he could take it, but he could not carry it out. The color needed a vessel of pure intent to escape the well's pull. Understanding washed over Elias with a profound, peaceful certainty. The well demanded a sacrifice equal to the light it had stolen. He smiled, a gentle, sad curve of his lips unseen in the darkness with his final strength. Elias didn't grasp the color. He embraced it, drawing its blinding, joyous essence deep into his own heart. He felt his physical form dissolving, merging with the radiant hue as his consciousness faded. He poured every ounce of his love for the world, his longing for its beauty, into the stolen light. The well recoiled from this pure sacrifice. The radiant color, now imbued with Elias' spirit and love, erupted from the well of shadows like a silent supernova, a streak of impossible, living light rocketing back towards the sleeping world. The swirling darkness collapsed in on itself, forever diminished. Far away, in the village nestled among the pines, the people stirred in their beds as a strange, golden warmth began to seep through their windows. Before the sun had even crested the horizon, they rushed outside, blinking in disbelief. The eastern sky wasn't just pale gold. It was a breathtaking canvas. Streaks of vibrant rose bled into brilliant oranges, melting into luminous yellows that shimmered above the deep, hopeful blue of the retreating night. The green of the pines suddenly exploded with life. The village flowers burst into riots of crimson, violet, and gold. Tears streamed down faces, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming, inexplicable joy as the sun itself appeared. It wasn't just a disk of light. It was a heart of fire crowned in Elias' sacrifice. And every morning since, when the first rays touched the world, painting the sky in hues of profound gratitude, those who feel the warmth deep in their souls know it is more than light. It is the echo of a young painter's boundless love, forever woven into the fabric of the dawn, ensuring the first color is always the most beautiful. The color of a selfless heart restored to the world.